Hello everyone. It's really lovely to be with you again, and I hope you're all having a good summer term, are you? I hope that the awful weather that you're having is not being a problem, and it's lovely to be with you. Oh, is there a problem? Oh, you can't see me. I'm not with you at all. I'm holding the camera all wrong. How about that? Is that much better? Now you can see me. Any problem with that? Oh, it's really difficult, isn't it? Here I am, my glasses are all steaming up. I can't see the screen. You can't see my mouth. It's very difficult, isn't it? To see and respond to people when there's no face at all. Adults are having to do that all the time at the moment. And it makes communication really hard. Someone said to me only the other day, as we were talking in masks to each other, "I don't know whether you're smiling at me," and I was grinning away at her, and she had no idea whether I was looking happy or not. If I had said to my grandchildren, wearing a mask like this, "You little monsters," they wouldn't have known without my face, my smile, whether I was meaning, "You little monsters," or "You little monsters," in a loving way. It's very important to be able to see people in order to communicate, isn't it? Have there been people you haven't been able to see recently because of lockdown? I bet there have. We haven't seen our grandchildren for a year now. And that, for the 2-year-old, means half of his life we haven't been there for. And it's really, really sad, and it's wonderful. And I suspect you may have been doing some of that recently, when you can go and see people again. What's the difference between talking to people on screen, as we've been able to do with our assemblies, and as you've probably done with some members of your family, and between having them really there? Why don't you stop the video for a few minutes and chat amongst yourselves about what the difference is between being really there with someone and just being there virtually on a screen? Now, I wonder what you thought the difference was between the real being with someone and the screen being with someone, which is a very good substitute when you can't really be there. What do you miss about really being there? I wonder if anybody mentioned hugs. I certainly miss those. And also, there are things like body language. You can't see all of me. You don't know whether my hands are tapping boredly on the table while I'm talking to you, or my feet are kicking up and down because I'm really longing to be somewhere else. You can't really read completely what's going on. For Christians, a really, really central part of what we believe and what makes us Christians and makes me want to be a Christian is the belief that God isn't just a remote, distant God, but that he really came to live with human beings. What we say is he sent his son, Jesus, as a human being, as a person, a man, born as a baby, growing up and living and experiencing and being with people. And that makes a vast amount of difference, that God has lived as a complete human. It means that I feel he can understand what I'm going through. And it means that I know that he thinks being a human is something that's really, really special. I know that he's not some remote, distant God, but a God who is, even though now I can't see him because humans don't stay around forever, someone who is beside me all the time, understanding me. I wonder how you imagine Jesus to be. In some pictures of him, he is a rather remote looking, rather unreal, holier than thou, sort of looking at the heavens person. Some people like to imagine Jesus like that, looking rather heavenly and otherworldly. When I think of Jesus, though, I find it easier if I'm thinking of him more like this illustration in a Bible. I wonder if you can see that well. Hope so. I like that illustration because the Jesus pictured there is hands-on. He's touching the person he's talking to. He's really very much part of them, of the world. The man could have felt him and known that he was really with him. He was engaged. He was strong as a carpenter. That's the Jesus that I like to think of praying and talking to, and who is God, showing himself what he's like to us. What I want us to do now is end by praying to that Jesus who is, as I believe, very much God, but also very much human, engaged with us, involved, strong, understanding us. Just as we sometimes do in prayer spaces, I'd like us to pray by quietly doing something. So could you put your hands down onto the surface that you are sitting on, whether it's a floor or a chair? Just put them down on that surface and feel the hardness, the presence of that surface, whether it's wood or plastic, maybe even rug. Feel what it's like, feel how real it is supporting you as you sit on it. And then imagine that sitting in the same area near you is Jesus. If you do that, you might want to think that he is really there, or just imagine it. And then in this quiet, reflective time, think about, if he was there, what you would say to him, what you'd talk to him about, something that's important to you at the moment. While you're doing that, and while you're sitting quietly, thinking about what you'd say and what you might hear him say back to you, I'm going to play a quiet piece of music. So just quietly sit there. Think about what you'd say to Jesus if he was there with you.
Be still for the presence of the Lord, the Holy One is here. Come bow before him now with reverence.
And now think about what he might say back to you, what he'd think about the things you've been telling him.
Is found. We stand on holy ground. Be still for the presence of the Lord. The Holy One is here.
Well, that's my assembly for you today, and I do hope that very soon, as we say at the end of each of these videos, we will get to see you in person, because it is so much more wonderful to be able to communicate properly with you and hear what you have to say, rather than having to do it as we are at the moment, on screen. See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.